What's up? How's it going, friends? This is Kail, aka BNK, aka Big Nasty Kail. And we're back. Juri in Season 5 has dropped, and kind of want to give my point of view on if I think the character is good or not. But before we get into that, make sure you can follow me at twitch.tv/BigNastyKail. It's where I play Street Fighter 5 and other games from time to time. And if you have any questions, or if you want to talk more, that's where to find me. I wanted to talk today about whether or not Juri is good in Street Fighter 5, and I tend to ruffle some feathers in saying this, but last season, she was good. This season, she's good. Is she bad? No. Was she bad last season? No. Was she bad the season before that? No. The issue is that she's just not great. But let's go through the changes. First and foremost, the biggest one in my point of view is the fact that she can now cancel her hard Fuharen to her critical arts. And that might not seem like a huge change because we can always go from pinwheel or Ryodan Sats, flip kick. But being able to confirm off of that heavy Fuha is actually a really big deal in a few ways. There's a few punishes that hit just a bit harder, and I think that's not a bad thing. It's not game breaking, it's not matchup changing, but any buff that we can get, we should definitely take, because as Capcom has shown, they really don't care much about us. So any buff that we can get is definitely going to be a plus. Or even things like punishing Akuma Air Fireball. Before we got a good amount of damage, now we get a ridiculous amount of damage. And it's all because of that heavy Fuharen damage before we do the critical arts. And also just being able to close off a round consistently. Off of lights, if we need to spend all of our bar to be able to get that damage, so be it. Again, nothing character changing, nothing matchup breaking, but it's something, and it's definitely worth it. The changes to V-Skill 2. Awesome. If we treat V-Skill 2 like another Fuharen store, it actually kind of takes the place of a lot of the different stores. We have combo enders, combo extensions, and something to make us safe, and that's kind of all of the Fuharen. So if you only have one store with your V skill, you can kind of supplement them, but there's more chances to use that V skill now because we can get it off of a cancel from the Fuharen store. Now, the damage increase off of this isn't something to write home about. However, it's to supplement other stores that we don't have. Or if we're in V trigger, it's to supplement use of V gauge. Instead of using the V gauge to make us safe, we can actually use that V skill to make us safe. And that's a buff all around. Something I want to look into is V trigger 2, V skill 2. Being able to store is an invaluable tool for a lot of reasons, and we lose that while under V trigger. However, being able to store and go into V skill 2 is kind of cool. And with V trigger 2, we're able to use that more. And what's kind of nice about V trigger 2 is that we don't have to change our game plan. We could keep playing the game plan that we have in a more consistent way rather than trying to take a gamble on V trigger 1. And it's something worth looking into. And let's get into V trigger 2 stuff right now. V trigger 2, giving all your stores. Pfft, great. The strength of V trigger 1 is that you get all of your Fuharens without having to store them, and it covers the weakness of not having them throughout the matchup, and that's awesome, and I think it's great. And the weakness of V trigger 2 was always that you didn't have those stores when you needed them, but now we get all of our stores at the start of V trigger 2, so cool. Now, I think they still missed the mark on the V trigger 2 EX gauge absorption. I think they missed what makes this V trigger not work the way it's supposed to work. Let me definitely say that up front. However, when you're up close to a person and you're taking something away from them, you know, that is a gain. But is that gain more than what you gain from V trigger 1? I'm still not there yet, but I think it's still worth looking into. Now remember, when you V trigger cancel and have a long combo, you're definitely going to nerf your damage. So the amount of resources that you use versus the damage that you get is definitely not worth it. So I recommend still ending your combo without using any of your stores, and then using those stores for your next option when they get up. What else did they change? Oh, the light Fuharen, the Fireball, now has 10 extra frames of activity on the screen. And no one's talking about this. Having that extra time on the screen means that you get to approach the opponent from longer distances and have more time to counterattack any way that they might try to get away from that fireball. Having those extra 10 frames uses the game plan of what Juri's like to do in throwing the fireball and approaching safely, but now you get to do it from longer distances. It also allows you to use your V skill 2 more, because now you're controlling longer ranges. You can now use your V skills safely and kind of start to put things on the screen, forming this minefield for the opponent to try to get through. Also, another change that they did was that you can now combo more off of V skill 2. So again, all these things start to come together and it kind of is fun. None of this is massive. None of this is character defining. However, it makes the character more fluid. It makes the character more fun. And even though I think she needs a niche, it makes it more enjoyable. And that's saying a lot. This is the most Street Fighter V I've played in a very long time. And there's a lot to play with. Those 10 extra frames, are we able to, say, throw a fireball out and flip kick in and stay safe because of the fireball? I've tried it out. It's weird, but kind of works. Are we able to throw the fireball out and dash in and then go for either a high or a low and then stay safe because of said fireball? Gimmicky. Might work. Am I able, after a stun, to throw a fireball, store one, dash in, and get a full combo with a fireball after that one hit? Well, yeah, you can. But is it worth it? I don't know. These are things to always look into, and these are things that we should be exploring. Are there mix-ups that weren't available before that are available now because the fireball's on screen for longer? I think there is. Again, the fact that we're asking this question is fun, exciting, and something to look forward to. And I myself want to look more into that stuff. Because you know me, I love my tech. I love anything tech-wise. I like finding cheap stuff. And part of the problem with Street Fighter V for me is I can't find any cheap stuff with Juri, but I'm hoping to find some this season. And if I do, of course, I will share it with you guys. If you guys find anything, always twitter.com/BigNastyKail. Had to think about that because I still kind of want to say Kail-kun, because I changed my Twitter handle at some point. So let's bring it all together. Let's bring it all together. Do I think Juri is excellent in this game? No. Do I think she's top tier? No. Do I think she's mid-tier? Oh, well, yeah, of course. She's been mid-tier for a long time. Not the whole lifetime of Street Fighter V, because she's been low tier when she started off. But right now, I think she's in an excellent place. But most important, I'm having fun playing her. And that's exciting. I still think Capcom is going in the wrong direction when it comes to Juri. And I fear that if she's in Street Fighter 6, I fear that the direction that they're starting to take the character is miles away from Street Fighter 4. And even though I think Street Fighter 4 was inconsistent and not fun to the player because of the fact that things just did not work how they should work, it was creative and it was engaging to try to come up with stuff. It was also frustrating because things just wouldn't work from time to time for no reason. And even though they're making her more consistent, I don't like the jack of all tradesness that she has. You know, if they were to pick a direction and then go with it, I would be much more engaged with this character. You know, if she was a zoner, or if she was complete rushdown, a mix-up, just something in one direction and then go in that direction. I think she would be a lot more fun and she would honestly be better. So if you clicked on this and you expected me to say, Juri's the secret top tier, or she's trash. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is she's about the same of where she was. However, the most important thing, she got more tools to be more consistent, and more consistent means more wins for you. And that's important. And that's all I got for now. If you like this kind of video, make sure you comment below. Make sure to tell me what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. If you want to see more of things like this, comment below. And if you want to talk more about this, twitch.tv/BigNastyKail. I stream 4 days a week, Monday through Friday. And even if I'm not playing Street Fighter, I'm always down to talk about these kind of things because this is what makes the game fun for me. And if you've made it this far in watching, I really appreciate it because I'm trying to become a YouTube partner. So all the time you watch, awesome. Thank you. Make sure to like and share it if you can. That does so much for me, and it helps me get toward that goal. And that's it. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them. Keep your masks on for the current time. Get your vaccines. I'll see you guys soon. Peace. Good on that. Glass. 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 I'm dastardly, guys. I'm dastardly with it. I'm dastardly, y'all.